Of all the good things that are going to come out of it, I'm super excited to talk about. So, hey, everybody, happy Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday, and I think we're getting ready for a shutdown tomorrow, Wednesday, with the Arctic blast coming through. So I'm glad that this show's happening today and not tomorrow. So
tomorrow we'll be hibernating.
Tomorrow, everybody will be home drinking hot cocoa, enjoying your day off. We were talking about that before we started recording. That let's just go with it. Let's just, everybody that can, stay home. Now, I know there are some people that have to go to work, like doctors and nurses and the post office. They run no matter what.
That's true.
But if you can stay home tomorrow, you probably should. So welcome to I've Decided. This is our extra show, the extra. I think we just named it right before it started, the extra, right? And every Tuesday we come live down from Whitecast Studio and just share success stories and share information and education and support and all the fun stuff happening in our community to help you be successful in your goals, because that's what we want to do with I've Decided, is help you achieve your goals and dreams. And I'm Kim Martin, founder of I've Decided. And so I thought today on our extra show that I would love to introduce you to my friends from PUP. This is Cinda Karst.
Hi,
Cinda.
Glad to be here.
I know some of you guys probably recognize Cinda. She's pretty popular around Peoria. We'll talk more about that. And this is Rich Knorr. You're the president of PUP.
Yes.
And so
Good to be here.
And you might be thinking, what's PUP? Such a cute name, PUP. It's People with Unlimited Potential. And that's an organization that we give 10% of our gross proceeds to, and we're very proud to do that. And I just wanted you guys to kind of get to know them a little bit better and learn that when you are affiliated with I've Decided and you participate in any of our events that we have, like our motivational conference that's happening now on February 9th, you are giving back to these guys. And so I wanted you to learn about them. So I want to share how we found PUP, but first and foremost, tell us about PUP, how you guys formed your organization, and how you know each other. And I know, Cinda, you're retired from Peoria Public School District. So
I am.
Why don't you share a little bit about what you did before retirement and then how you kind of found PUP?
Found some good volunteers. Several years ago, God just opened the door for a vocational coordinator position. And so my responsibility was to help life skills students, students with autism, Down syndrome, find jobs for their future once they exited school, and realized that not everybody can be independent.
Right.
Okay. Everybody has gifts and talents, but not everybody can be independent at the workplace. And so in my role, if they couldn't be independent, I couldn't place them on a job. And so I had to sit at meetings with wonderful parents like Rich and talk with them about what was going to happen after 22. Our kids exit from school the day before their 22nd birthday.
And these are young adults, that's 22, with mental and physical disabilities, or mental.
Cognitive, yes.
Cognitive,
for sure, yes. And so I would get to go to seminars and learn what people are doing in different parts of the state. And a lot of places were starting co-ops. So they were groups of families, because we know there's not enough government dollars to go around, and to go to different places isn't necessarily free. So a lot of our parents, if our kids aren't working, or even if they are working a few hours a week, there's a lot of time left. They might have to give up their job. So, the care and the support of these young adults is really an issue. And so I would sit across the table, and I don't think it mattered what socioeconomic group you came from, what background you had. There was always a sense of panic. Oh my gosh, the day's coming. What are we going to do?
Right.
And so,
because before that, you have, just like kids, you have school. So we
Yes.
have parents with young kids that can't stay home alone, and they get to go to school during the day
Yes.
while we work. So we don't have to have daycare. So you're kind of in the same boat.
And,
You're
and
counting this
they
in
grow
school.
up as time goes on, and before you know it, they're one day shy of their 22nd birthday.
Right, the average,
Yes.
but a person that doesn't have a child with these disabilities, they grow up and they can stay home alone.
Yes.
Right? They get a little bit older.
Or they move out and they're
they move
independent
out and
and
they're independent.
go to
where-
college.
Yes.
And that was the thing, and I would share with these parents, and you have some daughters getting ready to age out of high school, and you don't sit back until August after they've graduated and go, oh my gosh, what are we going to do?
Right.
You spend months, if not years, preparing for what's next.
Right.
Well, that's exactly what this is. And so just realized in Springfield, they had a very thriving co-op that parents and grandparents and family members were a part of, and they were supporting these youth after they even while they were in school sometimes, and then while they were out of school. So I came back, was at Jameson School at the time, and came back and talked to some of the very supportive parents and grandparents. Would we want to try that here? Okay, so approaching Rich and Sandy and Denny Eberly and some other people, we sat down and they were kind of, would you admit, kind of in a panic of what is next. And so
There's lots of questions.
lots of questions.
Mostly unanswered.
Yes.
Yeah, and tell us how that must be. How does that feel when you have a child who has these needs and you're not? I mean, what were you thinking?
Well, it's interesting, especially in our case, since we have what you would call, quote, normal children as well that are going through the growing up process, and we have two that are special needs. And it's an entirely different situation with them, because you know that they're going to need something when they're done with school. And so, like Cinda said, sitting down and thinking about it and talking, a group of concerned parents decided to meet after school one day.
Yes.
And kind of kick it around. And that was about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's when we started. We came up with a name after a while. People with unlimited potential. The PUP is short, sweet, easy to remember. But
Fun,
the idea, cuddly,
It's just
right?
a great word, pup.
Yeah.
You like everybody likes that.
Everybody likes puppies,
word. Right.
but it's nothing to do with
no,
dogs or
but it's
anything
just
like that.
heartwarming. I think it's
Right.
heartwarming.
Right.
Yes.
The last, with unlimited potential, all of our kids, our students have got a potential that they can live up to.
That's right.
So we did not want to limit that. So that's why we made the name with unlimited potential, that we would like to help them after their formal schooling, help them to continue,
Right.
provide opportunities and see if they can grow and
keep
stretch.
moving
And keep
stretch,
moving.
keep pushing the
That's right,
limits.
right.
Because they're human beings and they have more limits beyond. Even people who don't have obvious disabilities. Although if you talk to Kurt, he would say all of us have disabilities.
Yes.
That's kind of his message, which is really cool, and I think that's true.
Yes.
We hold our own selves back. We have
Yes.
something that limits us because we do that to ourselves. But all of us can do 40% more. That's
Yes.
statistics. Did you know that? Research and statistics show that human beings in general can do 40% more than
Yes.
they believe that they can.
Believe it.
And that would mean then that even people with special needs can do 40% more than people
what they're
think that
doing.
they can.
Yes.
If they're pushed to their limits or if they have the right resources, the right tools, the right information.
And motivation and opportunity.
We hear stories after stories, don't we? You gave, in fact, Cindy, you gave me a book, which I still have.
Okay, good.
about the young girl that didn't speak. You
Correct.
know, remember?
They didn't think that she had the ability to speak, and someone said to her mom, I think she's got, maybe her eyes were tracking words or something, and realized that she can totally speak and is extremely bright. And
writes books and songs, and her mother and her travel around now speaking. I just get
Yes.
chills. A perfect example. And of
Yes.
course, we've had, Stephen Corey come and share at our conference, and his story is
Yes,
just
awesome.
to show where he was and what he realized he could do and the full potential that he that happened to him, and now
Yes.
now he's a licensed attorney.
It's exciting.
And that
yes.
is very exciting. And so just you hear those stories. And of course, I love that. And ironically, we're about 5 years old too.
Yes.
And so that was the ironic situation that we met.
Yes.
And a lot of times people say, well, why do you choose PUP? Or where did you meet PUP? And why do you
Yes.
give your money to PUP? And why don't you give it to different organizations? And we do support a lot of local not-for-profit organizations. We love Family House. They're a part of
Yes.
I've Decided, and we love supporting them. And we love the Peoria Public School Foundation, and we love supporting them too. And we want to show the love and give back in many ways, but we committed to full on give 10 cents on the dollar of every dollar that come into PUP. And I think it was because I really believe the Lord spoke to my heart and said, this is what I want you to do, because you, Cinda, called me and said, will you go out to our school, PUP, and
Right.
teach them Zumba for a talent show?
Give a class.
And
Give a
I was
class.
like, I don't know.
Yes, you was. You were pretty reserved, and that's the thing with PUP. We have a couple areas. We have, we started out with social events once a month.
Right.
That can have anywhere from 120 to 190 plus people
Right.
in attendance,
Getting
which is
around
exciting.
200.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
and then we started a school on Mondays and Wednesdays run by volunteers, whole nother area, from 9 to 3. The students pay $10 a day, so there's a couple facets of what we do. And so I had just kind of thought, our kids love, our young adults, I should say, love
I
music.
know we call them kids, but sometimes they're not. In
Yes.
age years, they're young adults.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so we're always looking for, special entertainment or people to come in, and who better than Kim? She loves dance. She loves exercise. And, we know most of the population doesn't get enough exercise.
Right.
And so I just asked if she'd be willing to come in. And I think she thought, what did I get myself into? What is she asking? Will these kids will I understand
Right.
them? And so I was a little reserved because I had meetings. I couldn't go over and watch this happen. I just had to tell her when to go and when to be there. And
I had never been so nervous in my life.
oh my goodness.
I'm not kidding.
They made you nervous.
I was so nervous because, and I know I'm not alone in this, but I hadn't been around people with mental or physical disabilities or, special needs very much. And I had experience with.
Well, you had hired one of our first students to
with
clean.
Frances, and even I was still a little uncomfortable around her. I was learning to get to know her, but it's you just don't know what to say or to do or if they understand. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so
Like going to a foreign country, you don't speak the same
I
language,
know,
and so
but then I went, and
Yes.
you guys, your school, by the way, you guys right now are out on Knoxville,
Yes.
In Living Waters.
Right. We meet at
Church.
Living Waters Church,
In-
7229 North Knoxville,
Yes.
Peoria, Illinois.
Yes.
Yep.
And so that's where I went to teach Zumba.
Yes.
And it changed, and it was life-changing.
Well,
it really was life-changing. And to this day, those people, when I see them, I met your son, Chip.
Yep.
And so Brandon, I can't think of
Vanessa,
this. I
Nikki.
can't think, Nikki, yes. I can't think of all their names, but they have never forgotten me. Every time they see me, Brandon is so cute. He runs up to me, Miss Kim, and he starts dancing.
Yes.
And I love it.
she's
And
famous. Yes.
I know. And so it was in that moment that I was teaching, and they were so loving and so precious, really. And
Yes.
they were just so happy.
And
they
engaged,
were
yeah.
engaged
Right.
and they just
Not distracted.
not
All in.
distracted, all in.
All in, yes.
And I was trying to figure out what we were going to do the following year with our proceeds, and I just really felt like I had a nudge from the Lord that said,
Yeah.
"You're going to build these people a school."
Well,
You're
when the
gonna
phone
start-
rang, I knew that it was about time was up for her presentation, and the phone rang, and it was Kim. I didn't know whether I was going to get good news or bad news, and you were so excited, and you said, I have to do this. I know this is what I've been called to do. So it was really a beautiful
I was
thing.
like, just pray into it,
Yes.
And so we did, and that's what we started doing. And so, so that is what I wanted you to hear today, and get to know the people at PUP, because as a part of I've decided, whether it's a community member, business member, or you participate in our run, our ride, our take the stage, our conference that's coming up February 9th.
Look, all these things. It's
Whatever
exciting.
you contribute to us, you're contributing to PUP and contributing to our dream of building them a school of their own. And that's exciting. And you said you kind of had a vision of that. Rich, do you mind sharing a little bit do you mind verbalizing some of that?
A little bit.
You don't have to tell all the secrets, but
Right.
a little.
Well, and since we've started, we've been in operation for 5 years. We had a couple false starts with starting the school up. We set a couple dates and we weren't quite ready, and we just weren't ready, and we hesitated, and it was a good thing, because
Right.
when we started, we did get going. We had a trial month, our first month. Our school runs all year long except the month of July. So what we did is we ran the first set the month of June, and then we took July off
Right.
to put our heads together and see what worked.
And
see
then we
what didn't
found a
work.
teacher in that time and
We
that was
got
willing to take it on. So
Someone to be our
awesome.
head teacher.
headmaster.
And we went from there, and it's been going ever since.
Wow.
We hope to increase. I mean, someday we want it to be 5 days a week. We're not sure how that's going to be, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Baby steps. It's possible that in the not too distant future, there'll be an opportunity for us to join with another group that'll give us another day at their location.
Great.
So that's something that's out there
That you're looking into.
that we're looking into. They're not ready to commit yet, and therefore I'm not ready to say anything about it yet.
Sure.
But that's a possibility to expand our daily activities, is
And
joining with someone else.
ultimately, what we want to do too is be able to have some local things made coming out of the school too,
Right.
right? So that when
Yep.
we do open the school, the kids will be productive.
Right.
Absolutely.
That they will do things that to their ability, and we will
Yes.
push that ability,
Right.
and make
Yes.
sure that they're meeting whatever their maximum potential is.
Along with that, like Kim has just said, that we see in the future small business centers. I use that term relatively loosely, but it would be a certain activity, like making greeting cards or some other activities that we can teach the kids how to be productive, how to sort, how to count, how to count inventory,
Right.
and different things that would be standalone type things that would be part of the school.
Yeah.
Yep.
So in certain days when there's a big job to do, then most of the school would move on over and take care of that activity.
Yeah.
But we have a list of things that we'd like to
Yeah,
look
we
into.
everything from shredding to stuffing envelopes. I
Right.
mean, there's things that we could do that would give back to, and it's always looking for opportunities for our students. We get a lot, but to be able to give back to others.
Yeah. And so that's what it's all about.
Yep.
That's awesome.
right.
I got that vision. I'm so excited. I think it's going to happen.
Right.
What it looks like, exactly all the details, only the good Lord above knows that right now.
Yes.
But we already know it's going to happen because the vision's there.
Right.
God's already put the desire in your heart. And so we know
Right.
it's going to happen, and what that looks like, we're
Right,
not
and
sure.
we'd
but-
be remiss if we didn't say probably one of our biggest needs is to recruit more volunteers.
Yes. And so we're almost out of time.
Yes.
But that's a good note to end on. If you are interested, if you've enjoyed learning more about PUP and you've thought, man, I want to get involved, I want to help,
Right.
you can easily find them. You can email pwithup
At gmail.com.
pwithup@gmail.org.
Right. Our website, which is pwithup.org, we have a contact us spot there. We also have a preliminary volunteer application that you can fill out. It's just the basic, simple things, and then we'll contact you and ask for some more information and see how you can work with us to help
Yeah,
move
and
forward.
and come
Yeah.
visit, and even if it's 3 hours a month, or even if it's a special like Kim,
Right.
coming in once or twice a month for an hour to do a special thing with the kids. So
Yeah.
nothing's too small, but it doesn't have to be. It's not a 40-hour-a-week commitment, but we love it if it could be at least 3 hours
Yeah.
one time a month.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The whole program is set up in 3-hour slots, 9 to 12, 12 to 3. And we have some people that come once or twice a month, some people come once a week. It's what you're able to do, and we put it all together and keep the program going.
That's awesome. And I just love, you're retired from Peoria Public School District
Yes, I
now.
am. Mhm.
And I have to mention your oils because I smell them. I
Oh.
love them so much.
Thank you.
So you found your new passion in
Yeah.
oils.
And they
we-
diffuse at
and
school,
they
so
diffuse, and we diffuse at the garden. And
yeah, it's a blessing.
it is, and you continue to do this. That just shows where your heart is. You just, it wasn't just about your job. You
Yes.
really were passionate.
It's important to see the vision.
I love
keep
it. I
going.
love that you continue to
The
work.
problems don't go away just
No.
when we retire. So
All right, guys. So that's what we're doing on today, the extra show, just learning more about PUP. And so check them out, and you can find them on our website too, I'veDecided.org. And if you want to get signed up for some of the opportunities that we have, visit I'veDecided.org. Get signed up for the conference next Saturday. We want to see you there. We really want you to be there, and you'll get motivated and inspired and support PUP all at the same time. Okay? Enjoy your day. Stay warm tomorrow. Don't go outside if you don't have to. Drink hot cocoa.
commercial.
I
Thank
know.
you.
I'm like all about the hot cocoa. So we had hot cocoa.
PeoriaLife.com.